Hey, Frank Kritzman here. I was just out showing some houses, and the people I was showing houses to, they want to submit an offer on one of them that we saw. So I wanted to get in here and make this video and show you what you have to do in DocuSign to get all that set up and what forms you actually need to put your offer together. And so this is going to be for somebody who maybe has no experience with DocuSign and doesn't know what forms you need to actually submit an offer. I'm going to take you through getting all that started up and give you some pointers to make things a little bit easier later on down the road. All right, so first thing you want to do when you get signed into DocuSign, you just want to get up here and you want to switch over to Rooms. You want to go to DocuSign Rooms. Okay, and so your DocuSign Rooms, think of your rooms as each room is like a folder for an individual client. In each one of those rooms, you upload documents that are specific to that client and that transaction, so it keeps things nice and organized. You want to get over here up on the top, switch over to the Rooms section, and then you want to click on New. And you just want to name your room after your client. I'm just going to do something very generic. I'm not going to put my buyer's personal info up in here, so I'm just going to do John Smith for now. So we got in that in there. Right here, you're the agent owner. You don't need to change that. And then your side. For this example, we're going to do the buy side because we are working with the buyers. So do that, save. And then that will bring us into that room that we just made for our John Smith. What you want to do right here is you want to go down on the right and you want to find this section right here that has their information, buyer one. Right now, I'm just working with one individual buyer, but if there was two people that needed to sign this document, like a husband and a wife, then you would just put both of their information in here. So for buyer one, we're just going to do John Smith. Really, for this section, the only thing we need to put in here is their name and their email address right here. So we'll do johnsmith@nomail.com. Okay, then you want to go down here and save. It's very important that you do that on the details section on the very first page. It's going to save you a ton of time later, and I'll show you once we get there. So next thing we want to do is we want to go over to the documents section, and this is where we want to add in all the documents for the offer. Okay, so we want to do DocuSign Forms. Then you want to dig through your different folders. First thing you're going to need is obviously the contract. So you can do purchase, and this offer that I'm going to be writing is going to be on an as-is contract. So I want to grab that. The other mandatory thing that you're going to need is a wire fraud prevention notice for the buyer. We are also going to need, let's see, might be down here. Yep, energy efficiency brochure. We're going to need that. This buyer is going to be using a VA loan, so we will also need just type in VA right here. Let's see, we're looking for this VA FHA addendum, so we're going to add that. And the house is in an HOA, so we are going to do here and do Homeowners Association Community Disclosure right there. Last thing we need is an agency agreement, and the one we're going to go with is right here, brokerage relationship, single agent with consent to transition, and this is consent to transition to transaction broker. So we're going to grab that, and so we have 6 so far. Cool, and we're going to add all of those. So now all of those documents are in our room. Last document we added right here is just the seller's disclosure, and I just went and pulled that from the listing. You download it off the listing, and then you click on add document right here, click computer, search through, find the seller's disclosure, and then you add it in, and you can pull it up and take a look at it. Now is when you go through and get all these forms filled out, and here's why we did that part on the details page where you added the buyer. You click on these forms right here, you just click it up to pull it up and preview it. You can't edit it right here, this is just a preview. see, pull this up. There you have your buyer's name right there. Okay. So you notice you do that on any form. Let me pull up the as-is contract real quick. It'll automatically transfer all that information over to any block that's labeled buyer one name. So it'll save you a lot of time. Close that out. Once you're done filling out all your forms and everything's ready to be sent out for signatures, what you're going to want to do is you're going to make an envelope. You can click on envelope right here. So we have this envelope here, and we're just taking documents from the room and we're putting those documents into this envelope. That envelope is going to be gone and sent out and signed. So what you want to do is go to upload, and then you want to do add room documents right here. Then you want to just go on, click everything that you want to have signed, which in our case is all these documents. So add, all right, you have all your documents up here, and then all your recipients are down here. It's going to take a little bit of practice and figuring out who needs to sign what forms, but this envelope only has to go to my buyer and then me and nobody else. So I'm going to pull off all these other recipients. So just the buyer, just buyer number one and selling sales associate. And then what you want to do is click on this little contacts button and then do room contacts. And then right there, it's going to pull up your buyer one contact. So you can just click that, apply, and it's going to pull the name and the email address so that you don't have to type it and possibly misspell something. Then I go in here, find me, put myself in there. You click next. This is the part where you can go in and edit documents and put in the signature blocks and initials and all that. So what I would do is I would take this initial spot and I put it right here, and I'll drop one everywhere my buyer needs to. He needs to have one at the bottom of each one of these disclosures, and then drop a signature right here. Okay, so just like that. Then I put a date signed over here. This name button right here, wherever they want their printed name, you can put that name button right there, and it'll just be John Smith right there. Okay, then initials, same. If you're using a DocuSign form, that's one of your room documents, it will automatically put in all of the correct initial and signature spots. The reason that you have to put your own signature spots on this document was because this seller's disclosure is the PDF that I downloaded off the listing. So if you download your own PDF and import that in, then you have to put in your own signature blocks. But if you go down bottom, it has everything pre-filled out where everybody needs to sign. So this has my signing spot and their signing spot and initials and all that. If you need to drop a signing field for someone else, you just go up to this where it says John Smith, drop that drop-down menu. All your recipients are right here, so I can click on me, and I can add a signature block wherever, or initial, or say you just want to do a text. Like if you wanted to X a box, put a little X, you could do that. Then when you're all done and you have all your signing fields filled out, go ahead and click send, and that will send that envelope out to the first recipient to be signed. If the video was helpful for you, please press thumbs up. And if you have all these documents in your DocuSign and you're curious about how to fill out that 12-page as-is contract, I'm going to put this video right here that shows you how to do it step by step.